My name is James Sullivan. We're here in the Easthampton eMedia studios for another episode of Pioneer Valley Life. Today, my guest is Ruthy Woodring. Welcome.
Thanks, James.
We'll be talking quite a bit of stuff today, but mostly we'll be talking about pedal people, because I think that's one of your main interests.
It's probably what I'm most known for.
Yeah. And anybody who's kind of driven around, especially on Route 10 between Northampton and Easthampton, has probably seen the pedal people at some point in their life.
Yeah, there's about 27 or 28 of us right now.
Really, that many? Yeah, that's great. Because you're a member-owned co-op, is that correct?
Yeah, it's a worker cooperative.
Yeah.
I mean, those of us, those 27, 28 of us who do the work, we own the business, and we all have an equal share in the business. There's no boss.
Right, yeah. That sounds good. Does it always work?
Definitely there's challenges sometimes, especially like the bigger that we get.
Yeah.
Like we started in 2002, and it was just me and Alex Jarrett. And Alex and I knew when we started the business, I mean, when we started it, we had no idea if it would succeed at all, hauling trash by bike when there's like people on trucks.
Yeah.
But we knew when we started it that we didn't want to be anybody's boss. And so if it was going to work, if it grew and people joined us, we knew from the beginning we wanted it to be a worker cooperative. And we're part of larger networks of worker cooperatives, like the Valley Alliance of Worker Cooperatives, and then the U.S. Federation of Worker Cooperatives.
Yeah, that seems to be, that's a growing part of the worker environment.
Yeah. And it's really helpful when there's some movement and familiarity with what worker co-ops are and that sort of horizontal power structure, because sometimes we hire new people who've only ever worked in a hierarchical work situation, which is the case for probably most people. And so they join pedal people, and we've had situations where they're like, I should get paid more. Where's the money? And we're like, well, if you get paid more, we got to do more work. I mean, there is no secret pot of money anywhere. We all it's just we all share.
It's whatever lump sum is there. It's divided equally.
Yeah. Well, we do have in our bylaws that no one can make more than twice as much as another person, and but we pay ourselves by the job for most of the work. Like the hauling work is by the job. But some people are really fast and good, and we're built differently. Anyway, so we have discussions in the cooperative. It's not fair for no matter how good or fast or hard someone works, how should they make twice as much as another person? But then you look at Elon Musk or someone. You look at how much the inequality in wealth. It's never going to be a perfect system.
No.
People just have different abilities.
No, exactly. That's what I've noticed. I imagine that anybody's, call it paycheck, it's not a paycheck, but whatever, is dependent upon how many clients you have overall, how many people they get assigned to. Some routes are probably different than other routes that take longer or have more people on them, more people who do it. I notice you have monthly, biweekly, and weekly, ways of charging clients. And then you said on the website, I think it said the average worker makes about $32 an hour. But it doesn't mean they're working 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week.
We're not working that much. No, that's not that figure. I would say it's more like $25 an hour, because that figure, anytime you own your own business, you do so much that's unpaid. That's just when it's sort of with me personally, it's just sort of part of my life and how I live my life, on the bike and trying to be accessible, available for people, and little side projects. And I don't like to categorize my life into work and not work. It's just how I try to be in the world. And so, it drives me bonkers to try to figure out how much money am I making an hour? I don't know when am I working? I enjoy it all.
Right. So you're satisfied you're making a living wage?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I've been doing it since 2002, but I've also chosen a pretty simple lifestyle. I don't have a car. when you told me to silence my cell phone, I was like, well, I do have this device in my pocket. It's not technically a cell phone.
Right. Okay.
It's like where I get free Wi-Fi. I get free Wi-Fi, but I don't pay anything for this device I have, and I'm able to text and make calls through certain apps like Google Voice, Signal, WhatsApp, things like that. But that's only where I can get Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And so I also, the big way I feel like, besides not having a car, that I'm able to live a rich life in Florence, Northampton, Florence. I live in Florence. Is that I live in a housing co-op called the Flo-op because it's in Florence. It just became an official housing co-op a year and a half ago, but I've lived there since 2005 when 4 of us bought it together, me and Alex Jarrett and another couple. And the determination in the brains of Alex Jarrett have got me where I am in life. Let me say that. Alex and I started Pedal People together. Alex figured out, was the main impetus between figuring out how to buy this house informally, cooperatively in 2005, and then make it an official housing cooperative a year and a half ago in like 2023. So that house, it's a duplex in Florence on the rail trail between Straw Ave and Chestnut Street. There's technically it's like so it's like maybe 6 bedrooms, 3 on each side, I think. There's usually 8 people living in the total house. And I think my rent is maybe $500, that includes maintenance fee, taxes, water, sewer, utilities. And then I'm a trash hauler, so I find pretty much everything I need. I don't really need to buy much. And people give me so much stuff too. Like sometimes I feel like I just have a sticker on my chest that says "We'll work for food." Because doing Pedal People, I eat a lot too. And I do eat well.
Good.
And I'm not picky. People like to feed me.
Oh, that's good. But I mean, I was interested, the Pedal People, you'll actually haul just about anything. Yeah,
the trailers are rated for 300 pounds. And so we say we'll haul anything up to 300 pounds. And when you take off the totes, like if people see them on the side of the road, they probably see them with the totes stacked on them. But if you take off those totes, you can sort of use it as a flatbed trailer. I passed one of my coworkers today who had a couple of mattresses in the back of the trailer. We've done household moves where we've moved basically everything except for the refrigerator. I don't think we've done pianos or refrigerators. Well, we've done small fridges, but bed, dressers, chairs, TVs, all those things. They're amazing, amazing trailers. And they weigh about 30 pounds and 40 pounds. And you can haul 300 pounds on them, which when I compare it to a car, which like a light duty car might weigh like $3,000 or $4,000, pounds. But can it take 10 times? Can it haul 30,000 pounds? I don't think so.
No.
And also like hauling things with the bike and the trailer, just thinking about what it feels like how much energy. It's a personal thing. How much my personal energy and muscles does it take to haul 300 pounds? And then I think about a car weighing 3,000 pounds. It's like if I wanted to go to the store to get a gallon of milk, oat milk, whatever, why would I drag 3,000 pounds? It's so much energy. Then that makes me think about gasoline, how concentrated that energy is. It just blows my mind. The batteries and the batteries too now, but I digress.
And it sounds, so it, like what it said on the website, it was, number one, it appeals to people because, those trash trucks are pretty noisy. And having, and there's more than one company, so it doesn't mean that everybody on the street has the same company. So during the course of a day, you could have several trucks coming and just causing a lot of noise pollution, basically what you say.
For sure. And also the pavement damage. I've read that over like 90% or more, don't quote me on this, but the huge, vast majority of pavement damage is caused by heavy trucks.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
And the garbage trucks are in people's like driveways,
Yeah.
parking areas, which aren't really built for that kind.
No, they're not for that weight of a vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we have some bigger multifamily pickups. I was picking up at one today. It's like a 7-unit, and it fills a whole trailer. And I was like, sometimes I think, well, maybe they should just have a dumpster. but then I realized, if they had a dumpster back here, their pavement would be getting destroyed.
Exactly. Yeah.
So some people use our services for that reason to save their pavement and to not the noise pollution and the sound pollution and plus the trucks have to have a certain amount of clearance.
Yes, yeah.
That we don't. We can squirrel in.
And the old, these days it's those that arm that comes out the side of the truck and grabs on the thing. It's like,
Yeah. My sweetie actually drives a garbage truck for USA. So
Really?
we talk about we talk about the compare and contrast.
I'll bet. Yeah, you got both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But you do a lot. I noticed that you do other things other than hauling trash. You have a yard maintenance side of the business that people can sign up for. Yeah,
there's yard care, which what we'd love to be doing with yard care is making lawns into gardens.
Right.
And we do some of that, but we do a lot of mowing with electric mowers.
Yeah.
So we haul the electric mowers and the electric string trimmers on the back of the bike trailers. Pruning, planting, helping people think about how to maybe make less lawn and more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Increase the life that lives in the yard.
No, it's true. You'll see a little bit of that coming on, not a lot. People are still kind of obsessed with having this nicely mown lawn.
Yeah.
Why, I don't know, but
The No Mow May. Do you know about that No Mow May? Yeah, that seemed to get a little traction. I think that helped people think, and even us in my own yard, we did the No Mow May, and it was like, the world's not going to end if you don't mow your lawn for a month.
No, it's not, no. And they can be, an unmown lawn, whatever you plant there, I forget the term, that's going to draw different species of, insects or whatever, and, it's like...
like a pollinator garden.
Yes, exactly,
kind of Yeah, my housemate, Alex, who I've mentioned, a couple years ago, so most of our yard is garden or wood chip path, but we have some grass sort of hangout area, and we had been using a reel mower, for most of the last 20 years. But then last year, Alex started only using the scythe. Yeah. So he goes out like maybe every 2 or 3 weeks, takes the scythe to it. And so the grass is now usually about this tall, whereas it used to be this tall. Yeah. And it's like the lushest yard ever. So nice. We have ducks and chickens too, and they really love.
Love walking around in that.
Walking around in that.
Yeah. No, that's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Go right ahead.
I was thinking, since I'm talking about our yard and the house where I live, the flow up on the rail trail. When I say on the rail trail goes on the back side. High Street goes on the front side. And my main access, most of us who live there, our main access is coming in through the backyard. So we've tried to make it a really welcoming space for the community. It's an amazing resource to live on the path where people are moving at a human pace, and you can interact with people. So we have a picnic table out there. We built a cob bench 20 to 18 years ago. So the base is cob, which is like sand, clay, straw, like adobe kind of. And then there's a shelter over it. The bench is maybe this wide. And so there's like please seat yourself signs in a bunch of different languages on it. It's next to a big white pine tree, about this big, that shelters it. There's a telephone on the white pine tree. There's a little green box that says phone. Alex put that in. It goes to the internet, and you can call anywhere in the country for free.
Oh, wow.
And you can set up your own voicemail account on there too, I think. When he set this up, most people had cell phones, but there was still a lot of people who didn't have cell phones. And so some neighbors, that was their only phone. Like they would set up a voicemail account through the bike path phone system. So we've got the bench and the picnic table. We have a bike repair station there with a pump and tools. We have a fridge. Well, it's just a a take it or leave it food pantry, and a free pile that's always getting out of control. And sometimes people drink a little too much on the bench and harass people when they walk by. And then we also in the yard have some swings that homemade swings that we put up with black locust posts and a tree stump. And
so compared to the size of the studio here, is this the size of your lawn or
our yard? Our yard's pretty big. Our yard's
yeah.
probably 4 times as big as the studio.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a double lot. It's real nice.
That's really pretty big.
Yeah. The duck and chickens have 1 quadrant. The swing sets have 1 quadrant. The garage and woodshed have a quadrant. And I don't know what the other quadrant is.
Yeah.
But,
do you have a little free book library?
No. No. Well, I don't know why not.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to keep on top of all the stuff out there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Because sometimes people drop off things and don't return to pick them up.
Yeah.
But all in all, it works pretty well. And we have a sign as you're coming into the yard that says, I just put it up last week, though the intention has, and the practice has been there for years. But I think it says, welcome, bienvenidos a los columpios. That's the swing set. The fence is just to keep the fowl in.
Yeah.
Slide the gate to the right to come in. And be nice to the ducks and chickens.
Yeah, that's great.
A lot of little children come with their parents or their caretakers to come and just look at the ducks and chickens.
I'm sure that's great.
Yeah.
Are they egg-laying chickens?
Yeah, mostly. It's kind of, we have 4 chickens and 2 ducks. It's kind of a fowl orphanage. Like we haven't, only one of these creatures have we acquired by intention. But the others have come from neighbors who've lost their flock to the bobcat or a fox or something. And they had like a lone chicken or a lone duck. And we're like, okay, well, we'll take it. The bobcat. Last week, my housemate Max was out working on their bike by the garage, and I was in the kitchen, and I heard the ducks and chickens making a big ruckus. And I looked out, and the bobcat is like she's walking into the yard in the middle of it all. And I run out the door, and I chase the bobcat. As I'm chasing the bobcat away, Max is like, a bobcat? And I chased the bobcat through our yard. I tripped over the fence into the neighbor's yard, ran it into the next neighbor's yard, and it's just trotting along what? I was just coming for breakfast. What are you chasing me for? It's very bold, this bobcat. And I have to give it some cheer for
that's great.
Domesticated animals are all coddled. Good for that bobcat, making its way in this world.
What area? Where do you think he lives?
I think over on Garfield. There's a conveation area.
Oh, right.
At the end of Garfield.
Yeah.
I think there's some fox dens, and I think the bobcats live back there. Too.
That's interesting.
So we have a bike repair station, a tool station, and the way that came about, that's by the path, by the bench and all. The way that came about was when we first bought that place, I put in a bike pump that I took a stump and dug a hole and buried the stump and bolted it in somehow. But it was always breaking. And one day after like 5 years of this, a neighbor said, hey, do you ever think about putting in a more sturdy pump? And I was like, we'd love to. And I was like, we'd love to put in one of those like bike repair stations like you see around town. And he said, well, I can help. And I was like, he said, how much? I said, well, they're kind of expensive. And he said, how much do they cost? And I was like, the kind that we'd really like to get that has both the pump and the tools, that's like $1,000. And he said, okay, where do I send the check?
Wow, that's great.
And I was like, I will get back to you on that like within 24 hours. So he wrote us a check for $1,000, and I bought the thing, and my friend Dwayne and I poured the concrete pad and installed that, and that's how that came to be there.
Because there's one of them that I've used in the past, which is near Tandem Bakery in Easthampton along the path there. That's a good one. Yeah,
it's good when they're next to a place where the people there can maintain it because
Yes.
they often have some issues. The pump, it's hard to keep a public pump out in the weather.
Right, right, yeah.
Yeah. More than once, someone has said, do you have another pump? Because this one just let all the air out of my tire.
Wow. Yeah. So most of your people, you said you've got 27 members. How many customers do you have? Or do you not want to say?
No, somewhere, I'd say like maybe 1,100.
Wow.
Or something like that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. New ones they come and go somewhat.
Yeah.
But generally, we've had sort of steady growth since we started. I think things have sort of tapered a little bit right now.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how the next 4 years go with the economy and all.
Because it says on your website, it says you're hiring new people, but basically it seems like you hire somebody, but they work their way into becoming a member of the co-op.
Yeah, there's a 9-month apprenticeship period for new hires, and it has to include summer, winter.
Yeah.
Unless you're yard care only.
Yeah.
Because winter is usually the hardest.
Oh yeah, when I'm riding down
people.
the road and I see your people in the middle of winter, I'm going, oh gee.
Oh, that ice storm in February.
Yeah.
That was so hard.
Oh,
Some of
I'll
the
bet.
streets just like sheets of
yeah.
rutted ice.
Yeah.
And the way that ice is rutted, like it also tips trailers.
Yeah.
When one wheel goes in that rut, it's like,
I'll bet that was horrible. Yeah.
And then the wind. There's a 9-month apprenticeship period for new hires, and so we have monthly full co-op meetings, full collective meetings, and it's like a 3-hour meeting once a month with a break for dinner in the middle. And then we have different subcommittees, smaller committees.
Yeah.
So everyone that does hauling work, like all the administrative work, is done by someone who's also doing hauling work or yard work. Like we don't have like an office with a secretary who sits there and just answers the phone. The people that do secretary work also do hauling work on other days. With new hires, like when we get new customers or when another person leaves, when work becomes available, usually maybe 2 routes a week to say 4-hour routes a week, so 8 hours a week. Like when we hire someone for their first month, I believe they're not allowed to do more than 2 4-hour routes a week because we've just seen people like burn out.
I'll bet, yeah.
And so that really limits who can do pedal people because you have to have some like economic flexibility.
Right.
You really do.
Yeah. And you want to have, it seems as though somebody has to have the mindset of, helping the environment, but also a mindset of keeping in shape personally, because I'm sure most of your riders are in pretty good shape.
Or they're getting in shape.
Yeah.
We've hired some people who are like, this is gonna be my get in shape plan.
Right.
But if you enjoy it, you really have to enjoy the physicality of it.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. And I see most of your. I don't see many people with electric bikes. Is that because that's their own choice, or?
Yeah. So our original bylaws, when we incorporated it as a worker co-op in 2005, said human power only. And then as electric bikes became more common and reliable, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, we changed our bylaws to allow electric assist. It couldn't be throttle only.
Correct.
You have to, but you could pedal with some electric assist. And then the co-op bought one e-bike that people can check out.
Okay.
And that bike, I feel like, I haven't looked at the checkout sheet for a while, but I think it probably gets checked out maybe half, 2/3 of the time. Meaning there's not like a lot of pressure for it. People use it like if they're doing their route plus subbing another route, or if they're feeling sick, or if their bike breaks down.
Right.
We don't have our routes really structured around using e-bikes. You may have seen me come in with an e-bike. I started using an e-bike for hauling a 1.5 years ago. It's my personal e-bike that I got from a friend for $350
Wow,
used.
that's pretty good.
It's like a bottom of the line e-bike, but it's served me very well and allowed me to work when I've had some knee injuries, and I fractured my wrist last fall. It's allowed me to do some things.
Yeah.
It's allowed me to make a living and still have some energy to do other things.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I would have, like today I worked this morning hauling trash for like 4 hours, and then, or 4.5 hours, and then I was out at Valley Recycling staffing the cans for cancer table, receiving redeemables. And then after that, I left to come out here to Easthampton, and then I'm going back to Florence. So like a day like today, I don't know, like I would really be thinking about how tired I was all day long if I wasn't using that e-bike. But now it's like I know I have that e-bike there. When I leave the studio, I know I can ride that e-bike, pick up my trailer, and get home without being a wet dish rag.
Yeah. I have an e-bike myself. I bought it, you know, Quadrini right there on the rail trail. And you know, because that's the only way that I can really ride anymore. You know, so I do it for pleasure. You know, I'm not doing it for work, but I mean, it still enables me to get out and do something. And it is the same way. Doesn't have a throttle. I have to be pedaling to take advantage of the assist. But I like it. You know, I can ride, and I live in Easthampton, but not, you know, I go through the woods and I can get into Nonotuck Park.
Oh, nice.
Which is nice because it's paved, but there's very little traffic. And, you know, the bike path sometimes could be pretty crowded with different people, whether they're walking or rollerblading or this or that, and, you know, on a bicycle and whatever, you know, so. But I do it just to kind of stay a little bit in shape, not a lot, you know, I don't do it, you know, to, you know, be totally exhausted after I've done, you know, it's just, you know. But I like the benefit of it.
They have their place. And
they do,
especially if people can transition from using a car as much to like some of those trips to being by e-bike.
Yeah.
But I really like it when people don't go faster than like 12 to 15 miles on the rail trail. Like this people, the e-bikes, people can go real fast on those and endanger
especially the
lives.
throttle only ones. You know, they put the throttle, they just go. You know, that's, you know. Whereas you know, if I'm not pedaling, I can't, you know, I can't use the assist, which is good.
Because
actually, you know, it allows me that, you know, if there's a little hill coming up, I can use the assist. If I'm going into the wind, I can use the assist if I want, you know, if I need to, you know, so. Yeah,
I have 2 other coworkers that one of them that also are using e-bikes for their routes. So that's like 3 of us regularly out of 27, 28. I don't really know how many pedal people there are because some people are on leave, some people are on extended leave. So people do this thing where they go on extended leave when they're kind of moving on to the next thing, they think, but they really can't bear to quit, to like officially resign. So they're like, well, I'll go on extended leave, and I'll feel like I'll still have the option to come back. But usually they're like, they've moved on. It's just hard to let go.
So we're almost running out of time here, believe it or not. But you know, so if somebody wanted to have you do pickups, or somebody wants to become a peddler, the best thing to do is probably go to your website, which is pedalpeople.coop. It's PEDAL. Pedalpeople.coop. Or you can ask someone. If you see somebody riding by, ask them. Oh, I didn't mention the bike lab every other Saturday. That's on the website too. Every other Saturday, people can learn how to fix their bike, and with bike mechanics around to help support them. And where does that take place? It's 12 Northern Avenue in Northampton. 11:30 to 2:30. And they can fix up a bike. So somebody could actually, you know, find a bike that's in pieces and come there, and you would help them put it together and make it a serviceable bike. We have parts, we have tools. We might not have the compatible parts every time, but it's free or by donation. We have a lot of extra bikes there right now that could use a new home, and they need a little bit of love because they're all used bikes. But we'd love to get the basement cleared out a little bit and get more of those bikes in use, and share knowledge with people so they can fix the flat themselves or adjust the brakes themselves so they're not stranded, so they can keep riding their bike. That's the thing, you know. You know, I would have to ride my bike there to get it worked on if I wanted to do that, you know. So I'd have to plan on that. But you know, I can, you know, I can go to Northampton and back pretty easily, you know, especially with the e-bike. But I haven't taken advantage of. I live in Easthampton. I wish I lived in Northampton sometimes so that I could take the bike trail going over towards Amherst and Belchertown that way. So just a different ride, you know. And you know, so. It just depends on, you know, where you live and how accessible the bike trail is. But
yeah, you know, they repaved the Northampton to Florence section last fall of the rail trail. So if you're coming downhill from like Look Park, the bike practically rides itself. It's so smooth.
I think they're doing a lot of work on the bike path by the bridge coming across Route 10, right near the recycling place.
Yeah, I think National Grid is doing their regular maintenance. They're like replacing some utility poles, like they own that right away.
Oh, okay,
so
right. Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's all about the electric overhead stuff.
Yes, okay, yeah, because the path follows some of that. Yeah, they're doing work on both sides. I couldn't exactly see what they were doing because I'm driving by at 50 miles an hour, but they're doing something in there, you know.
Yeah. When I rode here just now, I saw the big truck with a big arm grabbing onto a pole, utility pole, and putting it in or out or something.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. No, it's a relatively easy ride between here and Northampton.
Yeah.
It's just from, you know, where I live, I have to ride about 1.5 miles just to get to the bike path. You know, but I mean, it's uphill going that, but it's, you know, both ways, so it works out. Yeah. Good. Well, Ruthy, thanks very much for being a guest here today on Pioneer Valley Life. And people have learned a little bit about pedal people, hopefully, and you know, you'll get some people who might want to ride the bikes and people who might want to hire you to take away their trash or whatever.
Trash, recycling, compost. We do look like compost only too for people who
I saw that. There was part of the map said that in Easthampton, part of it is compost only. And others is full service. So they can learn just about anything they want to learn on the website. But hopefully this talk here will encourage people to go to the website and learn more.
Or feel free to stop a rider. You know, stop.
Well,
if they're already stopped. Feel free to talk to a rider who's already stopped.
Don't pull them over because I'm sure once they get into the rhythm, they just want to keep going.
Don't stop in front of them. Sometimes we get stopped. Hey, stop! I have some dog poop. Can you take it? You've got trash. Like no.
Right. Yeah.
Thanks for having me, James.
Sure. Okay. Thanks again. Nice to talk to you.
Yeah, you too.